My hat! Alright, so I have my 3.0 here, so I have to try to remove this real quick. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to swap the spur, the whole entire system. So my Hobbywing Easy Run Max10, this system here, 4,000 kV motor and ESC, that's going in this one. So I'm trying to see how fast I can do this. I'm actually out on the field. That's why by out on the field I mean doing the videos, not an actual field. So it's just those 4 screws, and it's the same thing on both of them. Again, they're the same car, just this one has a longer chassis. So I'm just going to remove that one. There it goes. And I'll just set this off to the side. Main thing, keep track of the screws. The motor just slips out, and then you have to remove these 2 screws right here. That one there, that's for the ESC, and then the one right behind it, just beyond my thumb, near the red wire. So that'll drop the ESC. Now the other ESC, I'm going to use the double stick tape. So I'm hoping that when I pull it out, it pulls the 3M tape that's holding it as well, because I forgot to bring it. Forgot to bring another roll just in case. So at this point, I just need to put these screws here so I don't lose them. Let me just do that real quick. Then I'll open up the receiver box, because I do need to disconnect the ESC. It's just 3 screws, not a big deal. And I'm actually not going to put this cover back on. The other cover has the switch for the ESC already taped to it, so I'm just going to use the other box. It's a lot easier than removing the switch, putting it on this one. And then I really don't want to risk the tape not adhering properly and then the switch coming loose, dragging on the ground, and tearing it off. Here we go. So channel 2, that's coming out. The servo stays. We'll see what the range is too on this transmitter. I'm not going to measure it, but on my previous Traxxas, they've been really short. So now I have to do the same thing to this other one. So this is my 2.0, and I'm swapping the system over. So I did do some speed runs with this car. I've done several. It's fun to just run it from time to time. It does go up to 114 kilometers per hour. It can consistently do 113. It just depends on how long of a straightaway you have, really. But you know, you can easily do over 80 kilometers per hour, easily. I mean, you can easily do over 100. So we're looking, miles-wise, you can do easily over 50 miles with the system. I mean, 114 kilometers is just over 70 miles per hour. So this system can do, on 3S, just over that amount. Now, the motor mount here, if you look at this motor mount, this is by HR Racing. It's kind of stuck in there. There we go. There we go. So see, HR Racing right there. This is the motor mount I recommend. It's a 35 pinion that I'm using, and I'm just going to swap everything out. The spur is a 55 spur. The reason why I like that motor mount is because it's adjustable. You don't have to deal with the A, B, and C and try to figure out where to put the motor to mesh it. This one just has a screw on the top, and then you can just adjust it. So here again, I'm removing the entire top cover, and I'm just replacing the entire thing. So I'm putting it all on the other one. I am not going to build the 2.0 back up. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to worry about the 3.0, mainly because I'm out on the street doing this. That's the reason why. So here we go. Again, channel 2. I need to pull that out. I need to wiggle this ESC. It's stuck on there pretty good, which is, you know, what I want. But now I can't take it off, which is a good thing. And come on, there, it's coming out. Just need to make sure the tape comes with. And there it is. So now I'm going to leave it off to the side because I do have to replace the spur, so I'm swapping the spurs. So the easiest thing with the spurs, I will show you in a bit. Let me just, that's going to go in there, but I'm going to put it off to the side. So if you flip the car over, now that you have that top cover, there's going to be 3 screws you're going to remove. And they are right here. 1, 2, 3, right there. So just remove those 3 screws and the rear end's just going to pull out, and you're going to remove the rear end from both vehicles. So I'm removing it from this one, then going into the other. The best way to go on the 2.0, because the shaft is short, is if you actually remove the front and the rear, just the front clip and rear clip, just slide them off. It's a lot easier because then the center shaft is loose. So then you can just lift that, remove the spur gear. On the 3.0, the shaft is so long that it doesn't matter. You can just remove the rear end. Now this one here, this spur, this is a 55, so it's really short diameter. This is why I can get away with just lifting it without bending the shaft and doing this. If it had the stock, which is a 70 tooth, I would not recommend doing that. It stresses the shaft too much and the gear in the front differential. So I would recommend that you remove the front clip as well. But like I said, on this one, see, it's a much longer tub. It's at least 30 millimeters longer. So you just need to remove those same 3 screws. There we go. So it'll be the same 3 screws. Just going to pull the rear end off. And the rear ends are the same, so it doesn't matter if I mix and match them right now, except for the tires are different. There's another screw, and then there's that center screw that's going to hold that bearing. Here, I'll show you. Right there. That one needs to be removed. You need to remove that so you can lift that center drive shaft. And that just holds a little hook. It looks like a cane, and that's what holds the bearing. Now I'm not going to remove the front end, but I do recommend you take the screws and just whoop, slide it right off. It makes it a lot easier to remove those center shafts. But this one is so long, there's going to be enough play for me to just lift the shaft without bending it, and then you need to push forward on the gear, so toward the front, and you see that little pin there, so that's clipped on. So if once you push hard enough, it'll clip off, and then you just slide it back, remove the pin, take the other one off. I'm going to slide this one back in, install the pin, and then now I slide it back and then clip it on. And again, the Vortex, it's the same thing. So I do not need to mess around with the mesh. I just need to make sure that this bearing sits properly. I'm just spinning the shaft to make sure that it goes in. Yeah, so just spin, slide in, that's it. And then mount the bearing, make sure it's placed there, and the hook should go in there. So that's about it. Just going in there, there's a hole, flip it, hold it, and the screw goes in there. Oops. There it goes, one moment. And nope. Almost there. Well, let's just do it by hand. Whatever. Now maybe if I wasn't rushing, I wouldn't be dropping screws left and right, but at least I keep track of them. There we go. Once that's in there, then I can worry about installing the rear clip. So the process isn't that difficult really, but here we go. So I'm going to put this in, and one of the things that you want to do is on the spur, just spin slowly until it clips in. So you're kind of pushing the rear end forward just like there. I mean, you saw it, you could see how it just clipped in. And then just put the 3 screws in. Just start driving one, don't drive it all the way, and then put the other ones in there, and then you can drive them all. That way it seats properly. And then once it's sat, then you can go ahead and just tighten everything. This is it. So after this, hopefully I can get my first speed runs with this system, and we will see how it goes. All right, come on, just a few more. There we go. But again, if you do not have either a Fortec 2.0 or 3.0, you cannot go wrong with either one. All right, I'm ready to mount the motor. So here, let's see. So again, I don't have to adjust the mesh, but if you look at, there's that flat part right there that goes toward the bottom, right in there. So just gonna set it, slide it in, push it in. That's it. Again, because this was in my 2.0, I don't have to worry about the mesh. So looking at the gears, see the mesh, I don't have to worry about it, it's the same thing. The measurements are the same for the tub, it's just longer. So there's the ESC, that's the little spot there. If you wanted a bigger ESC, bigger motor, just trim those and those. You know, just trim that and move the ESC back. But for this motor, there's plenty of space. I'll just place it here and press it in. Yep, that is secure. So that's going to hold, and that's a good thing because I didn't bring any more tape. So now we need to wire everything. One of the things to note is when you're putting this in, just remember that Traxxas tends to have 2 channel 1s, which is equivalent to a battery channel, then channel 1. So you need to make sure that you put the ESC on the second channel, which is usually the 3rd slot. So here we go. Let's see. 1, 2, no, that's 2. Let's move to 3. And we're at 3. All right, so I can go ahead and cover this up. We'll see how this thing works. So just loop the wires in. If you just twist them, it makes a little loop. Not really twist them, but anyway, that'll help you cover. And I'm just going to drive this down, not all the way. I don't need to. And mainly because I may end up replacing the receiver. That's the reason why. Well, the whole transmitter. Again, mainly because of range. Traxxas transmitters do not have the best range. They're good for just bashing around relatively short distances. Well, then again, not really that short. You know, your range will be at least 20 meters, but if you're doing high speed runs, you need longer than that. So here we go. Now we just have these last 4 screws, and then everything will be buttoned up. There's the first one of the 4. And all right, there we go. So we are almost finished with this. This is very exciting. I do like the way it looks. Let's just see if the body holds up. When I drove the Mustang for the first time, the first thing that happened when I swapped the system is it lifted up in the air, probably went over a meter up in the air, so over 3 feet, probably closer to 4. And it crashed, my heart sank, and nothing broke, which I was happily surprised. So that is one of the things about these cars. Yes, maybe they're not the competition cars, but they're very inexpensive and they're durable. All right, there we go. And one more. All right, almost finished. Almost finished. Just a tad more. Perfect. And now for my 4,000 milliamp Traxxas battery, 3-cell. It is a little puffy, as you can see right here. That's because I crashed. I was using it, but you know, using it on a 4-wheel drive slash, and a similar system to this battery tie, I think just flew out. So that was the problem. That's the problem with soft packs. But here we go. Powered on. Nope, not powered on yet. Here, hold on. Let's get the body. And I really like the clipping system for the body. I just hope it holds and doesn't fly up in the air. Now, usually it's a good idea to not put your GPS on there if it has to be on the outside and just run it. I'm just going to put the GPS. I figured if the 2.0 can handle it, this one should too, hopefully. Let's see, we'll do just a slow speed. It seems fine. Getting used to it. You know, adjust the trim a little. It's pulling to one side. Pulling a little too much to the left. Let's avoid cars as well. Yeah, you really want to make sure your steering trim is adjusted before you do any type of speed runs, because adjusting at high speeds is very difficult. So now I just need to zero this out. Let's see. Alright, I think we are... Nope, I think I changed it. What? Yep. So let's go back. We're looking for peak speed. And I always mix up the buttons. The one to the left is the selector, and then the one to the right, that's the one that does the recording. So here we go. And, alright, we're going to do our first one. And let's see. Here it goes. And, whoop. Yep, first run. That's fun. Well, while I'm getting in the car, I'm just hoping nothing broke. The GPS flew off, the body flew off. It just hit that curb and bounced right up. So that's a possible issue. So we will have to see. Let's see, here's the body. Yeah, body's not broken, it's just scratched. Let's see, GPS. It's mounted back up, and we'll try it again. At this point, to be honest, I should probably just quit and check the body, check everything, but let's go for it. Right, I break things so you don't have to. Actually, I don't like breaking things at all. So let's see. Alright, reading, looks like it is. And here we go, attempt number 2. That didn't go well. Right, so I keep losing traction on this thing. And let's put the GPS back on. Alright, bring the car closer. I'm just running it without the GPS. Nope. Nope. And there's the car. This is my exercise for today. I get to run back and forth. As long as I don't lose my hat. It's a little windy, not too windy. There we go, and we're gonna try it again. And not working. So at this point, it's probably not the aerodynamics of the car. But I'm still gonna keep running it for now, just durability test at this point. So we will see. The Lexan body is pretty tough. Let's see, this thing's just turning, but the dog bones, everything looks fine. The suspension looked fine. Actually, it stopped running right there, so I have to check it. Could be the transmitter. Do not think it's the battery. But I still need to check. Let's see, so at this point, just kind of enjoy the road. It's a nice little road here, but I'm just checking the shafts, making sure it works, and it's running again. So we are good to go. Let's see, and there, again. And, all right. Yeah, so there's definitely something wrong with it. So it could be a variety of reasons. One, it could be too much power for the car. Two, I could have lost a dog bone, but I did not lose a dog bone. One of the differentials could have gone out, but I do not believe so, because the Fortec 2.0 and this one have pretty much the same differentials. I'm sure they're the same. At some point I need to figure out if the gears are the same or not, but I believe they are. See, it's running, so all the tires are running. I'm not running it fast, I generally don't want to, but right now, just looking for any bent parts. Nothing seems to be bent, and I'm probably missing something that I should check. But let's see, tire rub right there, that looks like tire, and that looks like tire rub. maybe it's hitting these two spots, this one and that one. That could be it, but it's strange that it wouldn't hit the other side, so let's try it again. So I'm just going to run it, and hopefully I don't destroy it. The body's all scratched up now. Mirrors are all scratched up, but they haven't broken off. They're actually very good. So I do like the durability of the body on the car so far. Which is not the point, but I mean, look at those tumbles. And I'm just going to pick it up and run it again. So again, the Vortex are just very durable. It doesn't matter if it's this 3.0 or the 2.0. There it goes again. Even the bodies. I mean, the bodies are a little expensive, but you get what you pay for. You do get a quality body. All right, no more exercise. Tired of running. There's a reason why couches were invented. All right, let's bring the car in. And I'm gonna, well, there's nothing I can do. Let's see, 53 kilometers. Oh, well. All right, so after 20 billion passes, obviously exaggerating, I couldn't figure out why I kept destroying or almost destroying my car. But if you look at the tires, see the tires became unglued. So I'm just using the swab to clean them. Just some alcohol, 70% isopropyl. But that is it. So I'm cleaning them with alcohol. It's the rears mainly that became undone. I'm not sure if you can see the foam, but the foam is more of this urethane foam. It's a plastic foam rather than a regular spongy foam. But that's what the foam looks like. It's almost like packing material. Well, yeah, for some things. So I'm just going to apply glue. Everything's already clean. I already ran alcohol through everything. So I just need to make sure that there's glue in the bead. Out of the factory, one of the things that I noticed is the gluing is almost on the outside. It's very superficial. So tires are not going to hold. You should just unglue them, you know, cut them open, and just re-glue your tires before you even do speed runs, or else you will damage your car, just like I did. The body looks a mess. It looks like it's been driven on its roof most of its life. But here we go, just a little glue, and that should be it. Now, this glue here is pretty good glue. It's AKA. I like this glue. I used it one time my hobby shop was out of J Concepts, so I picked this up and I've been happy with it. They're very similar glues. Do not remember the price difference, but they're very similar price. But here we go. All right, so now I just need to make sure that the bead has glue. Just realized I don't have my rubber bands here. But here, let's see. I'm just going to press this in, make sure that the glue just goes all along the bead. And it's only the outer part of the tire that's separated from the wheel. The inner part is good. It's still glued on. Let's see, just a tad more. And so what will happen is when a tire becomes unglued, it balloons up. And if you think about it, it changes the diameter of the tire. So one side starts going faster, and that's what causes you to crash. So here you go. I have to go get the rubber bands for the tires. Alright, this thing still lifts, so I removed the rear clip. It's just 2 screws on the side and then just double stick tape in there. So we'll see how it does. Hopefully it doesn't lift anymore. Alright, so I took this is a Bandit wing. I'm going to try to put it on because even without the rear clip here on the body, as you can see, back here I removed it, so here it is. It still can't go up to speed. It just doesn't have any traction. I believe it's lifting. Now the body mounting system is here, so I'm going to try to mount this kind of far back, and hopefully I can get the screws in. So I'm just going to try to line this up right there, and then press this down and get to the center, as close to the center as possible on both of these. The best thing would be to actually grab a tape and measure. That's, unless you want to do it the fast way. All right, that's close enough. And I'm going to go ahead and put 2 holes here. Again, underneath is the body mounting system, so I'm going to try to
make the holes without damaging that system. My wife already told me she's not buying me a new body, but that's all right because I'm just going to request a whole new car. It makes it easy. It comes with a new body. But let's see if this works. I hope it works with the wing. With the Mustang, when I used the Mustang body, this is the 2.0, I had to put a wing on there as well. So hopefully with this one, once I add a wing, it works out. Since the 2.0, I've been running the other touring body. That one already has a wing. That's worked great. But again, you do need a wing. Desperately need a wing. All right, so that being said, these will go there. And I need the two little metal pieces, little aluminum. All right, because these are the nuts actually. So these go through here, and the screw goes through the bottom, and then it has that little rubber piece. So there's one. I'll go ahead and insert the other one. They don't fall back out because, again, that mounting system. So we'll go ahead and place that in there. Place that one. And let's see if I can manage 2mm. So right now, I kind of wish my cameraman had left the camera in the other spot, but that works, You know, she's putting it here. All right, that's one. It's gonna start spinning. I'm gonna have to use a wire. Let me turn the car and make it easier. It's a big jolly mess here. So I'm just gonna stick this in there just so I can tighten the tube. Well, I guess I could have taken the body off, right? And, all right. Hopefully this works. So I'm gonna give it a try, I'm gonna run it, and then let's see if it works.
Alright, so I'm getting ready to run this. I did swap out the transmitter, so I'm using my Futaba here. This is the transmitter I use for my vehicles usually, but we'll see. The other one just did not have the range, so after a short distance, the car just wouldn't respond. So this one does drive out much farther than the other one. I mean, I could go a lot farther if I wanted to, but here goes, first pass. Well, not a complete one, just a short, just to make sure. That looked pretty stable. Without the wing, I was not able to do this. So we managed to get it to 80 kilometers per hour, which is close to 50 miles per hour, somewhere around there. But I'm feeling confident, so let's do a run. Let's see, we'll just go past that. Small little bump. I don't want to grab that bump at too high speed, but here goes. And it's going. There it goes. All right, let me get it. Here I go. Man, I guess this is one way to exercise. So the GPS did fall, but it was slowing down, so that should still be a good reading. Yeah, the car's stuck between a tire and a sidewalk, so I'm getting it out, assessing the damage. So I'm hoping I have at least one good reading, see what the reading is. And looks, well, here, I'll show you on the camera what the damage is so far. Right now, just enjoy the view of my transmitter. I do like this transmitter, it's a Futaba. They work very well. I've had this one for a while. Actually, I have two. But here we go. So GPS 112 kilometers per hour. That's pretty good. and it looks like, let's see, body part of it came off, shock came off, and I lost a dog bone. I'm going to try looking for it. If not, I'm just going to grab my 2.0. Let me clip this on. So I'll grab my 2.0 and just take a dog bone out of that one and place it on this one, and then just do some more speed runs. So let me clip this on, and then after that I'll be back. I have to swap out that dog bone. So somehow my cameraman didn't record the other one, so we're going to do some other passes. We did get a 115 in the lost footage, but here we go. Another note, I did re-glue the tires. As soon as I got home, they were unglued on the inside, so I just re-glued them, and look the difference. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. It drives nicely. Unfortunately, the sun's in the way. There's nothing we can do about it. But it just handles so much better. So recommendation with the Fortec, just re-glue your tires. Just undo the glue, 107, and re-glue them. But 107 is not bad. That's about 66.5 miles per hour, which is pretty good. So I'm gonna run it again. And again, that is a wing off of a Bandit. That's what I had. I did not have a spare buggy wing, or else I would have used that. But here goes. But the main thing is just re-glue your tires before you do any speed runs. It was pain. My body's completely trashed. It's not broken, it's just all scratched up. But here goes. And this run, see, holds a lot better. I did go off a little to the side. Let's see, I think I need a longer straight. But let's see what I did this time. 101 kilometers per hour. Man, this thing's getting worse. That's about 62.8 miles per hour. At least I didn't crash. I guess that's an advantage compared to when I was first running it. So let's do another run. I'll bring it this way. I usually don't like running it this way, but nah, I'll just take it slow. There we go. I'll just take it a little farther. Like I said, I did manage a 115 kilometers per hour, so I should handle again. Let's see, bicyclist. There we go. Little farther down. Let's see if that's probably an extra 20 meters, possibly about 60 feet, just over 60 feet, 65 maybe. Don't forget to comment. Let's see what we did. 115, that's about 71.5 miles per hour. We did it. Please comment below.
What? Oh, my hair! My car! My rod!